Hi guys, it's me Devin again with another video. This time the monstrous kaijus that are going to be fighting is Godzilla and Ghidorah. You may be like, Devin, they already fought in the movie. Ghidorah won. Well, in a 1v1 scenario, I guess. But this is Godzilla 2021 / Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. And today we will be seeing who will win, and I hope you guys like this video. Time to hop into it. Now let's start with Godzilla. So for his strength, let's start with lifting strength. First of all, he threw Kong with just his mouth, and I think Kong weighs somewhere around 80 to 90,000 tons, and he just did it with his mouth. Now the second feat is that he pushed Mecha Godzilla, even though he was like only at 50%, and Mecha Godzilla weighing a whopping in the heaviest kaiju in the monsterverse, 600,000 tons, and he pushed him when he was at 50%. And he slapped Kong, and Kong just fell to the ground, and he did it with his tiny arms. Now time for striking strength. He used it. One of the most iconic things Godzilla has ever done is blast a hole through the earth to get to the hollow earth just to fight Kong. And the earth, it has a lot of like dirt and stone, and Godzilla evaporated all of it. That's very impressive. And also, even though Godzilla is at 50%, again, and his beam still was doing quite well against the beam clash with Mecha Godzilla. And he tore Kong up with just his tiny claws in the second fight. So now time for Ghidorah. Now time for Ghidorah's strength. Now let's start with lifting strength. He lifted Godzilla a bit off the ground, but you might think, Devin, he's lifted him into the stratosphere. That's when he was amped. In this form, he was not amped, and he lifted Godzilla off the ground. But still, that's impressive, because Godzilla almost weighs 100,000 tons, like 99,000 something. And he held Rodan in place with only two of his heads. I think he might have been carrying Rodan, because Rodan weighs 40,000 tons. Well, and that's it for lifting strength, I think. Now time for striking strength. Well, one of his beams blew Rodan all the way down to the ocean. In the Rodan vs. Ghidorah fight, then he knocked Godzilla over in the Antarctica fight, and then he evaporated Mothra, and with his mouth, he bit Godzilla, and that kind of put him in place. So now time for Godzilla. Okay, now time for Godzilla's speed. His speed is probably the same as in King of the Monsters. Didn't get much faster, didn't get much slower, but this time he just was able to crawl. Like when he got angry at Kong and decided to actually fight. And then he swam very fast in this movie, and he was super agile in this movie. He was able to turn really quickly in the Hong Kong fight just to whip Kong with his tails. And did you see how he was moving on the ground? Yeah, he was very agile. Now it's time for Ghidorah's turn. So he was able to fly pretty fast, 600 miles per hour, I think. And on the land, he was able to keep up with Godzilla around the same speed. Like I said, the same speed as Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong was the same speed as Koth. Ghidorah was the same speed as Godzilla Koth. So and his agility. He was only like really agile with his necks. He wasn't very agile. Oh, people think he's agile, but only his neck's agile. Now for next. Now time for Godzilla's intelligence. In this movie, I think Godzilla was the most intelligent, being able to remember that when he shot his atomic breath at Kong's axe, supercharged it. So he used that. So he did that in the Mecha Godzilla fight, and then he laughed at Kong. If you laugh at like something, that must mean you're pretty smart. Well, not in human case, but Godzilla laughed at Kong. So now time for Ghidorah. Ghidorah's intelligence. He was actually pretty intelligent, able to communicate with all of his heads telepathically. Like they were able to like talk about like battle plan, and he knows how to battle pretty well. Moving on. Now time for Godzilla's durability. So in this movie, he was able to tank Mecha Godzilla's atomic breath, and he was able to take many hits from Mecha Godzilla, like that punch, like robot punch, being thrown in the building, and in the Kong fight, he was able to he got stabbed by the axe, and remember that class, yeah, he took it pretty well. It annoyed him more than just it didn't hurt. Probably annoyed him more than it hurted. So now time for Ghidorah's durability. So he was able to survive really easily. Rodent clashing in like charging into him. Same with Godzilla 2 times. And he took a point blank and Godzilla beamed. And that's very impressive. And he tanked it like really well. And that's it. Okay, moving. Now time for abilities. So Godzilla's iconic ability that everybody knows is his atomic breath, and we should also count his nuclear pulse because he did use it in the Muto Prime fight right after 2014. So we should count that in 2021 too, I think. And he was able to detect where all Titans were after the Ghidorah fight, which he won. Now Ghidorah's back to fight him again while he's stronger. Kind of doesn't make sense, but those are Godzilla's abilities. Now time for Ghidorah's abilities. So he has his gravity beams. He's able to absorb Godzilla's radiation, and he's able to absorb like electrical stuff from like a power plant, which he used to shoot lightning from his wings. And then he has his regeneration, one of the most important parts that most people would think. You might think, well, Ghidorah's regeneration is broken. It's actually not because he got his head ripped off in the Godzilla fight. And then it took him, about 30 minutes later, he regened it. So he can't regen it immediately, even though it's pretty nice, but it's not that useful. Now time to move on. Now, who will win? So let's go over who wins each category. So for lifting strength, Ghidorah wins that one. striking strength Godzilla, speed Ghidorah, agility Godzilla, battle IQ and intelligence Godzilla. Then we have durability Ghidorah, and we forgot to mention size and weight, obviously Ghidorah, and power and abilities Ghidorah. But who wins? I will have to give the slightest edge to Ghidorah. I mean Godzilla 2021. The reason I give the slight edge to him is because he knows how to like handle Ghidorah now. Now he has experience fighting Ghidorah. He knows where to like target like his head. Like at the end of the movie, Ghidorah was still alive, even though his whole upper body was disintegrated, other than his middle head. Now that Godzilla knows he just needs to tear off the middle head, he will be fine. And with his now that he's intelligent and able to, and if he lands that atomic breath, I don't think Ghidorah is more durable than the whole layer of Earth to Hollow Earth. So that's why I'm giving Godzilla the edge. I hope you guys like the video. If you guys don't agree with this outcome, just tell me in the comments, and bye.